Hey there, all my fellow comic book fans out on YouTube. It's BDG Comics, and today I'm bringing you a video of my top 10 most anticipated comic books of June 2022. Without further ado, let's get the show rolling. And what do I have at number 10? It's Carnage number 3. Now, I read the solicitation on this one, and it seems kind of like a general premise of the whole series and not just a new one based on this issue. But I did look back just to make sure it was different than the solicitation from issue 1 and 2, and it is. So I'll go ahead and read that. It says, years ago, Peter Parker spurned a puddle of black extraterrestrial goo and inadvertently created one of the deadliest foes he's ever encountered, Venom. Years later, Venom's offspring found a willing host in the form of Cletus Cassidy, a dangerous serial killer, and together the two formed an even deadlier being called Carnage. But what will become of the Carnage symbiote now, rejected by the only loving host he's ever known? And, like Venom before it, what new and terrifying creature will emerge on the other side? Alright, now this series, so far, the first 2 issues have been fantastic. It's written by Ram V with art from Roger Antonio and colors by Dijo Lima. It's been really awesome so far, like I said, and I'm excited to see where they go forward with this one. Out of all the books that I have here that aren't like new or a conclusion or something like that, it's one of the only just like middle of the run ongoing books that I'm super pumped for. So we have Carnage, who is kind of working on his own. He's learned how to, like, you know, be on his own without a host. And there's this serial killer out on the loose that's been, you know, committing murders and kind of doing like an artistic thing with it where they like pose the bodies and like try to make it an art form, right? Super like disgusting stuff. Anyways, so he really wants Carnage to, he wants to be Carnage's new host, but Carnage is kind of like, kind of egging him on a little bit, and basically, it almost seems like Carnage is just trying to see what he's capable of. So it's interesting for sure so far, and gruesome, and I'm excited for more. All right, and what do we have at number 9? Ghost Cage number 3. This has been a pretty awesome 2 issues so far, and this is actually the conclusion of Ghost Cage. The solicitation says, final issue, 48 mind-melting pages. Sam, Doyle, and Blair confront Karloff for the fate of energy. Do not miss the life-affirming conclusion to the most potently phantasmagoric sci-fi comic of the modern era. So this is Nick Dragotta's brainchild. He wrote it, and he does most of the art. And then I think he has a co-writer, Caleb Gollner. It's really cool. Like, you get this creature, on the cover, this creature, his name's Sam, and he's like a robot that the owner or the CEO of this energy company, Karloff, created, and he's been going through this tower of energy, basically battling different levels of energy, of electricity and power. He's battled coal, and he's battled water, like hydro, and then he battled wind, I think. I can't remember exactly all the ones. I'm assuming in this one you're gonna get like nuclear power, and it's just gonna be awesome, mind melting. So very pumped for that one. And that is number 9. All right, and at number 8, I have Dark Crisis number 1. This is written by Joshua Williamson with art from Daniel Samper and colors from Alejandro Sanchez. I mean, it's a DC Crisis event. What more can you say? Supposedly, I watched a video from Pop Culture Philosophers where they actually interviewed Joshua Williamson. By the way, super jelly. That's really awesome. But apparently it starts out a little slow. It's a little more character driven, at least from the get-go. But I'm definitely excited to see, to read this event and see what happens with this dark energy from the multiverse that is killed the Justice League, and where are we going to go from here? So the solicitation for this one says Crisis on Infinite Earths, Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis, and now Dark Crisis. The epic event years in the making is finally here. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the rest of the Justice League are dead. The remaining heroes are left to protect the world from an onslaught of violent attacks by DC's greatest villains. Can the legacy heroes step out of the shadows of the classic heroes to form a new Justice League? And will that be enough to stop a darkness greater than anything they've ever faced from destroying everything? Don't miss out on the first issue of the blockbuster event of the summer. So, definitely hyped. Sounds very exciting. So the first two books... Hold on. Alright, so Carnage number 3 actually releases this coming up. New Comic Book Day. That was our number 10. And then our number 9, Ghost Cage, actually releases on June 15th. So 2 weeks. 2 new comic book days from now. Well, no, 3 new comic book days from now. Because we have June 1st, and then we have June, what, 7th? Yeah, June 7th, and then June 15th. So 3 new comic book days from now is Ghost Cage number 3, and that's our number 9. And then we have, in 2 weeks, Dark Crisis number 1, which is our current book that we're discussing, number 8. And then what do we have next? It is at number 7, New Fantastic Four number 1. I mean, it's New Fantastic Four. It's such an awesome team. You got Spider-Man, you got Hulk, you got Ghost Rider, and you got Wolverine. Sounds so dope. All right, so the solicitation for this one says, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Hulk. When these unlikely heroes first banded together to become the New Fantastic Four, they made Marvel history. Now, this fan-favorite team returns in an all-new adventure written by Peter David. Set shortly after the events of the group's first appearance, brace yourself for a wild ride and guest stars aplenty, including the original Fantastic Four, plus a series of mystery villains that you'll never see coming. So, like I said, this is written by Peter David with art from Alan Robinson. I mean, I'm pumped for this. This sounds awesome. I like that they kind of are going back in the past to some more classic times and some classic tales, going back to the original New Fantastic Four. And like it says, that there's going to be the original Fantastic Four are going to show up, and there's going to be mystery villains, and it sounds awesome. Guest stars, like, this just sounds super dope, and I can't be more excited. And this releases 3 new comic book days from now, on June 15th, so mid-June. And that was our number 7. All right, so at number 6, we have a new number 1, AWA's New Think, number 1. This is written by Greg Horwitz with art from Mike Deodato. And this is touted as Black Mirror-inspired goodness. And that has me pumped. I love AWA. And I loved the Black Mirror, so hopefully this is just, you know, interesting and compelling, and hopefully it brings that creepy vibe that Black Mirror has as well. All right, so the solicitation for this one says, this Black Mirror style anthology, so it's an anthology, examines the rapid proliferation of technology, the cultural and political polarization of the country, and the technocrats that have driven us to such extremes of thought that we need to present the present as something futuristic. Each of the 5 issues is a standalone tale with its own art team. So that's interesting. Each issue is going to have its own complete art team. I wonder if, I'm assuming that means they're all written by the same person, the Greg Hurwitz. So 5 issues, anthology, different art team each time, and the premise definitely does sound a lot like Black Mirror. So hopefully they keep the creepy elements that Black Mirror had, and it's not just thought-provoking, which if it is, that's fine too. I am so down for this. And this actually comes out this new comic book day, this Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. All right, so what do we have? We're breaking into our top 5 now. At number 5, we have Silver Surfer Rebirth, number 5. And the main reason why this is on the list and so high is because this is the conclusion. It releases June 22nd, 2022, so 4 new comic book days away. And this is the team of Ron Mars, and Ron Lim. And the solicitation says, the big finale. Silver Surfer and Thanos must stop Tyrant from using the full power of the reality gem. But will Surfer be able to resist his own temptation to use the gem? And does that mean a world where the Silver Surfer never existed? I'm pumped for this. This series has been fantastic. And yeah, I don't want it to end, actually. I would like it to be an ongoing Silver Surfer run. But I'll take what I can get. So yeah, I'm excited for this one, and it's crazy that it's still a month away, or 4 comic book days away, I guess. But that's okay. I'm pumped. I'm ready for it. Let's go. All right, and at number 4, what do we have? It is Image Comics number 1. Do a Power Bomb. This is written by Daniel Warren Johnson. He also did the art, I guess, and the colorist is Mike Spicer. The solicitation for this one says, Lona Steelrose, who wants to be a pro wrestler but lives in the shadow of her mother's success before her. But everything changes when a wrestling-obsessed necromancer asks Lona to join the grandest and the most dangerous pro wrestling tournament of all time. So, I love pro wrestling, like it's one of my favorite things. I watch AEW right now. I watch it every Wednesday and Friday at least. And sometimes I'll watch, you know, some of the extra content that they put out. They do a lot on YouTube. And then, of course, their pay-per-view events have been all excellent, except for one. They had a snafu in it that kind of derailed the whole thing. And it was the very end, so it was supposed to be hype, and it was like a huge dud. And there's a big meme about it. But I digress. So this issue releases on June 15th, so 3 new comic book days from now, and I am very excited for it. I loved Crimson Cage, and I know that's a different publisher, different writers, all that, but it's pro wrestling, and it kind of deals with like life and death, like this one apparently deals with a necromancer. So yeah, I do think this series is probably going to be a lot similar to Crimson Cage, but I have a feeling it's not going to be quite as dark and maybe not as brutal and like gruesome as Crimson Cage was, and based on murder, I guess. But I'm excited for it. I love pro wrestling, so yeah, Crimson Cage got me hyped for pretty much anything pro wrestling comic book wise. I'm definitely here for it. All right, so at number 3, we have, you probably can't tell by this, but Batman, Superman, World's Finest. Number 4. The solicitation for this one says, as Robin and Supergirl race to retrieve the secrets of the Devil Neza from ancient China, Batman and Superman get more than they bargained for in the present. To save humanity from the fires of the demon, the World's Finest must go toe-to-toe with the protector of Sector 2814, Hal Jordan. This is written by Mark Waid with art from Dan Mora, and the writing and art in this whole series so far, all 3 issues, has been quite exceptional. Basically, what it feels like is a early 90s, late 80s comic book story with like absolutely incredible modern day art, and it's just been outstanding, and I can't wait for more. Hopefully they don't I don't know what I'm trying to say. So hopefully they just keep up with expectations based on the first 3, and it just continues to make an awesome series. I don't even know if this is like a a mini series or if this is like an ongoing run that they're just going to keep doing, but hopefully it's ongoing because so far it's been absolutely fire. So yeah, we have the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, as a villain or an enemy, at least for now. I am assuming that, you know, Batman and Superman will break him free from the Devil Neza's spell or whatever it is controlling his mind, and then, you know, he'll probably be a good guy, and I don't know. We'll see. Very, very excited for that one. And that one comes out June 21st, so 4 new comic book days away. So yeah, a little bit of a wait, but we just had number 3 like last week, so understandable. All right, and at number 2, I have Twig number 2 from Image Comics. This one actually comes out not this coming up, New Comic Book Day, but the following one, June 8th, 2022. And it's written by Scotty Young with art from Kyle Stram. The first issue of this was amazing. I actually read it with my 5-year-old daughter, and she fell in love with it too. And we read it actually like 4 or 5 times. So we're definitely highly anticipating this comic. So let me read the solicitation. It says, "The death of the Pathsayer sends Twig and Splat on a journey to a mysterious lab where a premonition sheds dark light on further dangers to come. Join Eisner Award-winning writer Scotty Young, I Hate Fairyland, Middle West, and artist Kyle Stram, Spread, Unearth, as they bring us deeper into this unique dark fantasy world." So definitely very, very exciting. I feel like the vibes that it gives me, it's like a mix between Lilo and Stitch, like if it was based on Stitch's planet mixed with the Dark Crystal. Like that's kind of the world vibe that I get from it, and it's very cool, and I am very pumped to read Twig number 2. So I mean, what could top that? I mean, we have, you know, daddy-daughter story time book with Twig number 2, or Twig number 1 and Twig number 2, which is exceptional. So that surely has to be, you know, number 1, right? Well, it's not. It's number 2. And at number 1, I have Dark Knights of Steel number 7. I absolutely love this series. And it seems like it's been a while since we had Dark Knights of Steel number 6. Like it's probably been like a month, maybe 3 weeks. So I'm really ready for more. Unfortunately, it looks like Josh Middleton isn't doing any covers anymore, which is sad. I got the first 6 Josh Middleton covers for this series, and I love those covers. Probably as a series of covers, probably my favorites, which fits perfectly because Dark Knights of Steel is definitely my favorite ongoing series. So the writer here is Tom Taylor, and the artist is Nathan Gooden. I don't know if Yasmin Putri's coming back to this series, or I don't know what's going on there. But I love Yasmin Putri's work, so I'm hoping that the art doesn't take a dip. The color, who did the cover here? Oh, Dan Mora, of course, did the cover art here. So I don't know what the interior art's going to look like. Hopefully it holds up to either Dan Mora or Yasmin Putri. But let's read the solicitation here. And says, with 3 kingdoms on the brink of war, Batman is in hiding, recovering from an attack and a shocking betrayal. But Batman finds he's not the only unfortunate soul to be taken in by his surprise rescuers. Strange, magical youngsters have been given sanctuary alongside the bastard prince, Bruce Wayne. Will these teen outcasts change everything Batman believes in, or will they perish at the hands of a demon? So it looks like we're getting the Teen Titans in this kind of like high fantasy Elseworlds version of the DC universe and Justice League, etc. And when I look at this cover and I think Justice League and I think Teen Titans, that dragon is awful green. That's all I can really say. So this comes out in 2 weeks. Unfortunately, not this week. I'm so pumped for this book, but we got to wait 2 more weeks for this one. So June 7th, 2022 is the comic's release date. As we know, DC books actually release on Tuesdays. So, I mean, like I said, I'm pumped for this. It's been a fantastic series, and I can't wait for the continuation. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully the art keeps up, because the first 6 issues, even with the couple of artist changes that they had, were fantastic. I'm hoping Yasmin Putri comes back, but if not, as long as it's, you know, stays the way it is and stays exceptional, then I have no problems with it. All right, and that wraps up my most anticipated books of June 2022. Let me know what you're looking forward to, what you think is going to be an awesome book in June. All right, so look out for a video I have coming Tuesday, which is going to recap the week and review all the books that I read for this last week's New Comic Book Day. That was May 25th, New Comic Book Day. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one, and make sure to leave a like and put a D in my subscribe. And until next time.